Hello, encouragers. I'm Rebecca Scott, wife, mother of 4, author, and owner and designer of Rebecca Scott Designs. I'm here to encourage you, to make you feel that I can do this spirit each and every day of our awesome journeys to fulfill our many important roles. I believe we are fully equipped to execute, and I will provide as much knowledge, practices, and systems as I can to help you understand just what I know you can do. Execute. We got this. Hello, encouragers. On today's podcast, I really want to talk to you about agreements. It could be phrased in many different ways, but agreement is something that you have told yourself for over a decade that you have just equated to truth. Like, this is how you behave, this is who you are, whatever it might be, and it's an agreement you've made with yourself that may not be necessarily true. So I have a couple of examples, and the reason I thought it was so important to record this, because in the following week, I want you to really concentrate on whether or not the things that come out of your mouth, the sentences that you so normally say, are true as an agreement, or is it an untruth that you have just told yourself for over a decade and now telling your subconscious and yourself that it is in fact true when possibly it isn't. After I give these examples, you'll have an idea and you'll start picking up on them during your week when you might be saying them to yourself. So I want you just to really listen in carefully and think about if these are any of the agreements that you've made to yourself, and then maybe other statements that you know after hearing these examples you may be telling yourself. So this might be an agreement. I'm not a morning person. I am a small business. I am unorganized. I'm terrible at social media. I can survive on little sleep. I am bad at math. I'm not a writer. I'm terrible at marketing. I can't sell anything. I just love what I do. I feel bad charging for it. I'm a procrastinator. I work best under pressure. I'm afraid I will sell out. Oh, bingo, like I've said that. Oh, gosh, we'll go over it. I'm just doing it for fun. If any of these sentences have left your mouth, they are what we call agreements or truths you have told yourself for over a long time that you think just happen no matter what or will occur. In order to pick up on them this week to find out what yours personally are, they usually start with a I can, an I will, an I am, or an I do. Those, let that be a trigger that this is an agreement that you've made with yourself. If the sentence starts with I can, or I will, or I am, or I do, those are triggers. And I want you to write them down and really think through them. So in order to reverse some of these agreements that we've made with ourselves, there's a couple of steps I would like you to do. So now that you know the beginning phrases so that you can narrow them down, I want you to pick just the 3 top untruths that you've told yourself for years. And then I'm going to have you reframe them or rephrase them this coming week using the same beginning. So you will start saying, I can, I will, I am, I do. You will still use those same ones, but you're going to rephrase that agreement to make it be more positive and influential in your life. And I want you to repeat it once a day when you know what those untruths are. And then for 30 days, you're going to repeat 3 steps. So for example, if you say, I am unorganized, the new phrase you're going to say is, I am organized. Now, you've said your truth. What do you need to do? You know that I'm a big proponent of actionable complaints. It's okay to complain, but don't park it and have a nice little fire and sing Kumbaya. I want you to do something about that complaint. Go ahead, get it off your chest, and then go out and conquer it. Figure out a plan on how to reverse that complaint into an actionable thing you can take care of or reverse. So if you said, I am unorganized in your agreement, and now you're going to start saying, I am organized, you need to do 3 things to make that happen. I want you to block 1 day to clean your desk. Just 1 day. And it hopefully won't take you a whole day. But if it does, no embarrassment here. Obviously, I would encourage you to take Tiffany Hagan's course. But just clean your desk, because that at the end of the day, you'll say, well, I am organized. I started this day and now I am organized. And you just need to do one day or one afternoon to clean up your desk. The second step I want you to do is take an organizing course. Like I just said, I would recommend doing Tiffany Hagan. But you can YouTube or Pinterest, anything imaginable. I want you to take one organizing snippet to reinforce your phrase of, I am organized. And the third step for your new agreement of I am organized is I want you to help organize another person's space. Now, you may be saying, well, my gosh, I'm so unqualified. But there is one thing I bet in your life that you're just really good at. It might be that out of all the organization in your house and everything is a mess, you still love organizing your earrings or your shoes or your pen box, whatever it is. There is one thing in your life, I guarantee it, that you keep organized because it's your thing. So whatever that is, I want you to share that with someone else so that it reinforces in your subconscious that you are in fact organized, even if it is just with a pen drawer. So 3 steps to reverse that agreement. Another example, if you say the phrase, I am bad at math, the new agreement you are going to say, and you're going to write it down, is, I love math. I am capable with my calculator or an Excel spreadsheet. So you're not lying to yourself. Maybe the I love math, that's too far of a stretch. Then I want you to say, I am capable with my calculator and Excel spreadsheet, because that will do the math for you. And then you need to do 3 steps. So that's your new agreement. And then the 3 steps that you want to do to reinforce it is, I want you to watch a how-to video on YouTube that teaches you a little bit more about business math or basic math or something. So you need to watch some form of video. A second step you could take was that you need to tell a friend that you're looking to just improve your math skills a little bit for your small business or for your home life. You're going to talk to the Small Business Bureau, say, and just talk with someone over there for 45 minutes about setting up a spreadsheet for your business, just some basic inflow and outflow. And then a third step you could take is, I want you to learn 5 functions on Excel that will do the math for you. So each one of these agreements that you have made, you're going to write them down, reverse them into positive things that you do want to see happening, and then you need to take 3 steps. So I'm giving these examples of 3 different steps you can take, but they all involved reaching outside of yourself and holding you accountable in the next 30 days about what these agreements are and how to reverse them. Technically, a habit does not only take 21 days, it usually takes about 63. So 30 days, I'm giving you a little bit of a break, but just be aware that these agreements have been in your subconscious for years now. And so you will need to reverse these by constant repetition and reminding yourself of the new agreement. So another example, if you say, I'm not a writer, I want you to say the agreement, I am a creative writer. So creative writers can be really long written writers, meaning books or whatever, or creative writers might just be a poem or a brief paragraph. So instead of saying, I'm not a writer, I want you to say, I am a creative writer. And then you can take and do that with what you please for your new agreement. But 3 examples that I would do is I would start by writing 1 blog. And if that seems overwhelming, just write at least 3 paragraphs per week. That's it. That's like 2 sentences a day on some subject matter that matters to you. I want you just to write 2 sentences a day or 1 blog a week that has at least 3 paragraphs in it. Another thing to reinforce the writing part of you is that reminding yourself that writing is easy. You either sit down at the keyboard and start writing about something you love, or you grab a pencil and you start writing about what the tree outside your window looks like. Writing is easy. And so start maybe writing 1 paragraph a day for social media about something that's in your life, just to practice your writing muscle. And a third thing you could do is you could watch 1 YouTube video on how to write a short story, right? YouTube is like an endless resource of things that we can learn how to write. And same thing with Pinterest, but you need to take 3 steps with your new agreement in order to reinforce it in the next 30 days. Another agreement a lot of us say is, I don't have money for education or conferences. Now this, it hits me big because I know what this is like. But what if you just took 2% of your deposits per week? So if you do deposits once a week and you just take 2% of the gross and you stick that into a savings account and that serves as your education fund, what could you do with that? There's loads of education that you can get for free. But if you had a little bit of money, to put towards a conference or maybe a course that you're going to pay for, how much further would you be along in your business without making so many mistakes by avoiding them by taking a conference that you desperately needed? Okay. So if that was your agreement, is that I don't have money for education or conferences, I want you to say, I will seek opportunities to learn more. And some examples that you can do to seek these opportunities is if you spent $750 on a workshop or a conference or plane tickets, how quickly can you recover it? Because most of it is the fear of that is like, how quickly can I recover it? And sometimes it's not in monetary form. Sometimes it's an education form and it'll pay out over the year. So you just got to think through also on the money side, how quickly could you recover that? Would it take 6 full months or would it take more like 6 weeks? So figure that out. So that'll release some of the fear that's going on behind your statement of, or behind your agreement of, I don't have enough money for education. And then another thing I want you to say after you said, I will seek opportunities to learn more, I want you to get an Audible account for business that is $15 a month. An Audible account is the books. And so if you just said, I will only download business books for $15 a month, that's a pretty cheap education. And that's a great opportunity for you to apply to your business and to your education for doing your best. And another example would be to come up with a mentorship that you can share different experiences with them. And usually they need to be about 10 years your senior so that they've got a little bit more under their belt in their business, whatever that might be. If you can find someone 5 years or more, that's great too. But if there's someone outside of yourself that's helping you do better in your business and that will help you to seek opportunities to learn more instead of your before agreement where you said, I don't have enough money for education. Another example of an agreement we often say to ourselves is, I am a terrible marketer. I think the reason people say that so much now is because there's so many different platforms that we're supposed to be a part of that it's like, I'll just say I'm terrible at marketing because it's easier. And I have also said this. And then I started thinking about during staff meetings that, I do in fact offer quite a bit of marketing input. Maybe I'm not that bad at marketing. Now, believe me, I'm no hero at this whatsoever. But I started to realize that, some of these ideas I do come up with on my own. And so I should stop saying I'm a terrible marketer and that my team handles it. I need to own up to, no, I also am a part of the marketing and love my business. And I want to market it because I think other people will enjoy it as well. So instead of saying the agreement, I'm a terrible marketer, the new phrase is, marketing is just selling my business to the right audience. I came up with that all by myself. So that tells you a little bit of the marketing right there. So the new agreement is, marketing is just selling my business to the right audience. So what do you need to do to make that happen? So a couple things you could do is watch a YouTube video on how to market your business in your target market, in your demographic, in your business. So you could say top 10 ways to advertise a handmade product. See what you can come up there. Watch a video on what they say to do or what platforms are best. Another thing you could do is you need to block 30 minutes each day to brainstorm on marketing. One of the biggest things we fail at with marketing, and I especially find this when I'm coaching gals around the states here, is that they don't have a plan. Like, they're okay at marketing. They got some really cute flat lays and they've got some really cute slogans that their customers always say that they can use on Instagram and Snapchat and Facebook, but they don't have a plan. Like, sometimes I have a really good week where they post every single week flat lays. And then they have 2 weeks where like, I just fell apart. Marketing is consistency 100%. So the email goes out on Monday. There's a video post on Wednesday. There's a video post on Friday. And then Thursday, there's recipes. And Tuesdays, it's a how-to video. Like, your marketing has to have a plan. So blocking in 30 minutes each day may seem like a lot, but you are planning for the months ahead. And also for me, myself, and my business, I have to get the marketing stuff ready, meaning the product that we're going to market, I got to be held accountable to finishing it. So it really helps to just brainstorm every week. What I would say, especially if you've said that you're a terrible marketer, I would brainstorm every day for 30 minutes on what the layout for the next week will be and spend time thinking through what that will be. Another thing you could do if your agreement is that I'm a terrible marketer, which your new agreement is marketing is just selling my business to the right audience. You could ask a friend or a colleague to help with 1 month of a marketing plan. There is people that are better at marketing, I'm sure, than what you think you are. So ask them. If you were me, what would you do to market this business? Write down a couple of plans, then spend that 30 minutes a day working out what that might look like. You can always jump ship and try something else, but the biggest thing you've got to do is start telling yourself, I can do this. I can market. All it is selling my business to the right audience. And I already know how to do that. I already know how to look at the gal in Walmart and see how frustrated she is and tell her, oh gosh, I could totally help you. And you could say it in a kind and a humble and confident way. You already are a great marketer. You're just saying you're not. So remember, if you're saying I'm a terrible marketer as an agreement, you're going to reverse it and you're going to say marketing is just selling my business to the right audience. And then you're going to do 3 different things to reinforce your new agreement. Hello, encouragers. If you are feeling encouraged during this podcast or need more clarification or direction, I do offer coaching. And then also we offer a 1-day workshop. Visit our website at shoprsd.com and click on the podcast link on the top bar. I would love to chat with you and help you succeed. And this one is repeated frequently, and people have to seek out a lot of therapy and counseling over this, or frustrate the rest of us that have really tried hard to avoid this, is I just love what I do. I can't charge money. It's true. I love what I do. Now, it's not an option for me not to charge money, not just in that I would love everybody to have my product, but it doesn't aid my family any. And my whole plan was to be able to stay at home, raise babies, and make money designing and sewing. And so to do that, I have to charge. And yours is the same way. So I think by someone making the agreement, I just love what I do, I can't charge money, there's a lot of fear in that person that what would happen if they collected money for something they love doing. They feel like they're sinning or something. And that is not it. God has gifted you with great things and he wants you to use them, not just to make money, but to enhance people's lives. There is a monetary thing exchanged, obviously, but it's not just money. It's a sense of confidence. It's a sense of creativity. Those are the things that I like to offer with the purses. And I do, in fact, need some dollars back and forth to keep it going. But the amount of confidence that I give that woman and the amount of creativity and whatever it might be that inspires her, that's how I can justify the dollars in my head for exchanging those with that sense of new self. So whatever you need to do, you need to reverse that agreement from, I just love what I do, I can't charge money. Your new agreement is, I must value my work. That right there is super powerful. I must value my work. And in order to value my work, there is usually dollars involved, and it needs to be an equal, awesome feeling on the person that is getting the product or the service. Then you'll feel less guilty about the money collected because you know the value of what you're giving them. So your new agreement is, I must value my work. So 3 examples of how to reinforce that in the next 30 days would be that you will refigure your cost or your top seller. So if your top seller is going really great, if it's a product or a service, but maybe you honestly aren't charging enough to pay everything, what sort of increase would that be? So you're going to reevaluate what your top seller is, why it is that it's the top seller, and if you need to evaluate how much money you're making on it. Another thing you can say is affirmations every morning. You know that I'm a big proponent of saying things and them existing in the universe or to God. Like, this is a desire of my heart. So affirmations will really help if you're someone who says, oh, I just can't charge money. I just love what I do. Affirmations of, I must value my work. I am worth every penny. Those sort of things will reaffirm your new agreement that I must value my work. Another thing you could do is remind yourself that your business runs on money. And what can I charge to stay in business? If you continue with the agreement of, I just love what I do, I can't charge money, you won't be in business very long. So if you do love what you do and you want to make or do whatever that is for the rest of your life, you're going to have to charge some money to stay in business. And I really hope that's the desire of your heart. So you need to figure out, as an example, in the 3 things that you must do during this next 30 days, what would that be? If you stopped charging, you would go out of business. And is that okay with you? And my final example would be, if you have an agreement that you've told yourself, I am a procrastinator, your new agreement is, I will plan accordingly. I left it a little bit broader because procrastinators need broadness. And everybody procrastinates about something in their life, and some are go-getters like myself, and we just set it out. But there are still things that I procrastinate, like leaving the house on time for events that I did not prioritize. like my husband. So I'm like, why? I'm just going to leave on time instead of early, which is a big slap in the face to him. So I'm getting better at it. Okay, stay tuned. But if you've told yourself, I am a procrastinator, I want you to start telling yourself, I will plan accordingly. And then remind yourself that some events you'll need to plan longer for. You'll need 3 weeks to plan for it. And some events you need 3 hours to plan for, but you will plan accordingly instead of I am a procrastinator. And a couple of things that you can do is get a procrastinator buddy. Get somebody else that's really bad at procrastinating big projects and tell them, hey, we're in this boat together. If we both meet our deadlines, I'll take you out to lunch. Whoever loses takes the other one out to lunch. That's an example of how to undo this agreement. Another example would be to really plan out a month successfully. And every time you can put an X on the day because you did the work that was in front of you. Instead of procrastinating, you get a reward at the end of a month. So you can have 2 weeks of procrastination afterwards. No, I'm just kidding. But whatever it would be that really trips your trigger, like a meal out or a bubble bath, but that you sacrifice during this time to learn how much better you are as a human when you're not procrastinating things that matter. And another example is you could buy yourself a planner and start literally filling it in. I would recommend that you block the amount of time needed. So give yourself 3 hours on an afternoon to fill out this calendar and really get after it, because you will need that amount of time to understand the calendar and understand how you're going to get it done and then plan accordingly, because your new agreement is that I will plan accordingly. Not the agreement, I'm a procrastinator, but I will plan accordingly. So I hope this has been helpful, but it just dawned on me that there's a lot of agreements we make in all of the roles in our life, whether we're small business owners or mothers or wives, teachers. I just think of all these things that we've just told ourselves, and normally it's something someone else told us. And it's a truth that we just stored in our subconscious that we're like, maybe I am a bad writer. Oh, maybe I am terrible at marketing. Gosh, I'm a procrastinator. Sometimes it wasn't even truths we told ourselves. But I want you to spend a week thinking about what those agreements are. They usually start with a I can or can't, I will, I am, I do, I'm not. Those should remind you those are agreements. And then when you come up with those, I want you to write down the 3 top ones that really bother you and bother your loved ones. And I want you to undo them. Reverse the sentence. So if it's, I am terrible at social media, I want you to write, I enjoy marketing my business. Reverse it to a positive, and then give yourself 3 things of what you will do to reverse that. What are you going to do to reverse those agreements? They can be really deep agreements. It can be even relational agreements that you've made, is that I am unlovable. And I am not qualified to tell you how to undo that, but get the help that you need. And that might be one of your examples, as you put, I am a child of God and I am lovable. And then 3 examples would be, I'm going to a counselor, affirmations, and then talking with a friend about this truth that you've told yourself. There's all of these agreements could be totally broken down into 3 things that you're going to do to reverse that truth. So everyone stay with me. I agree to follow this plan to reverse my negative agreement. So let's go forth. Let's reverse these. Let's have some new agreements. I want you to be posting them on our fan page and everything, because we would love to hear what your agreements are. We will be asking you on Facebook. Also, what have you been telling yourself that you were able to reverse? It's going to take 30 days. It'll probably take 60 days, but I want you to commit to the 30 days so that you can start the habit and really thinking through what other agreements during this that come up and reverse these. The I am a small business one that I mentioned in the beginning is big. Now I just say I own my own business. I don't say small business because I am not going to reinforce that this is a small business. I want to reinforce that I'm a businesswoman and I've worked hard and I am of value. Okay, I could go on and on. So tell me, what are your top 3 agreements that you've made to yourself that are untrue? And what examples, how can you reverse that agreement to a positive? And then what are 3 examples of how to conquer it? We got this, encouragers. Go out there and reverse those agreements. You owe it to yourself. Until next time, we got this. Hey, encouragers! If you're feeling overwhelmed, if you've had the scene where you're crying because there's no way you can meet all the roles in your life, I've been there. I've so been there, but I'm not there anymore. And I know how you can get out of that slump and start executing on all the things that God has equipped you to do. You can pick up my book at equippedtoexecute.com, also on my website at shoprsd.com, and it's also available on Amazon. Thank you for tuning in, encouragers. Remember to subscribe so it's automatically on your phone, and please rate and review me. We got this, encouragers.